The case of 31-year-old Christopher Little, who was shot dead in his car in Stockport. Christopher Little was shot in his black 500 SLE Mercedes sports car as he stopped at some traffic lights in Stockport Road outside a pub on the night of Friday the 22nd of July 1994 at about 11:20 p.m. He was shot twice in the head with a 12-bore double-barreled shotgun, and it was said that he had died instantly. The police said that he had been shot in a carefully planned attack. As he had pulled up at the traffic lights, a stolen white Ford Granada pulled up beside him, and someone shot him through an open window. His Mercedes was an automatic, and after he was shot, he put his foot down on the accelerator and sped off, but crashed into two vehicles, including a Ford Escort van and a wall outside the Bowling Green pub about 125 yards further down the road. 4 people that had been in the van at the time were treated at the scene by paramedics and later taken to Stockport Infirmary, 3 of them suffering from whiplash and back and chest injuries, and the 4th man suffering from a severe fracture of the thigh bone. Christopher Little was a known gang member and was called Devil Dog Mobster because of the way he used to terrorise his rivals with his Rottweiler dogs. He had been a nightclub bouncer before he became what was described as a drugs baron and racketeer, and was also said to have been involved with intimidation. He was described in one newspaper report as a gangland drugs godfather. A man was charged with his murder in 1999 and 2010, but cleared both times. The man was also charged with 2 other separate murders, but was also similarly cleared. At one of the murder trials, the man was described as a man who had built a crime empire using ruthless violence. However, the man said that the police had had a vendetta against him. Christopher Little was from Stockport, and it was said that around the time of his murder he had described himself as a self-employed builder, but it was said that in reality he was a feared racketeer. It was said that one person that had betrayed him had been put in a room alone with Christopher Little's Rottweiler dog. He was also said to have provided security at nightclubs around Stockport and was also suspected of organising a gun attack on another club that was using rival bouncers. He was also said to have been behind 14 arson attacks in Stockport in April 1994 that had targeted schools, shops and vehicles, which was said to have been carried out as a show of force. It was also reported that although no one was hurt, that the arson attacks were calculated to have caused over £1 million worth of damage. It was said that shortly before his murder that he had been attempting to grow his drugs empire by expanding into Stretford. Christopher Little was said to have owned a nice house in Stockport, and after his death it was said that the sound of his dog barking could be heard coming from it. His car was described as being worth £50,000. On the 20th of September 1999, an associate of Christopher Little, David Barnshaw, was burned to death in the back of a black Ford Orion car on an industrial estate in Lower Bredbury, Stockport. The same man that was tried for Christopher Little's murder was also tried for David Barnshaw's murder, but similarly acquitted. It was said that David Barnshaw had been murdered for attempting to set up his own independent drug dealing business in Stockport. The Bowling Green pub, once on the corner at Cross Lane and Stockport Road, has since been pulled down for housing. Although Christopher Little had been a notorious criminal across the Stockport region, little more is known about him or the circumstances of his murder.